they're in a bit of a tough position. A pickle, one might say. Not really sure why they're in a pickle, but they are. Now, Evelyn, banned away along with some other AP junglers. I'm not sure who on the bingo card has Kevy plays AP, but your options are running out, my friend. We talked a lot earlier in the day about unique champions plays.
Your options are really running out now. So, that's bad as well.
I was, Order have played a different champion every game except for Corporal, who's had 3 Nautilus games. Who also tweeted, is Nautilus the squishiest champ in the game?
Yeah, I think he is actually. Because Yumi would be, but she's always on top of someone.
True.
So Nautilus is actually probably the squishiest champ. Obviously, does work relatively well. Please stop with the base stuff. LeBlanc picked here for Jojo. It's first pick. Have seen it banned out a lot. Order looking towards Aphelios. And we'll see what they decide to team up alongside that. That could be the Tristana instead.
Don't talk about hovers,
I didn't realize it was a hover. I'll be honest. I couldn't see the background flashing.
So Tristana towards the bot side of the map. They could lock in jungle here if they wanted to. They could also grab themselves a mid. They have options, is kind of the point. The problem is, there's no trends for them because, oh, okay, now we're getting something that they have played before. Again, bingo card, no AP jungler for Kevy this game.
Unless it's like a Viego top or something.
Unless Viego decides randomly to build AP, I guess.
That's true. I wonder what his scalings are.
Probably, I don't even know if he has any AP.
I'll have a look at that while you talk about the rest of the draft.
Okay, because that's important. So EG right now, nothing like too locked in terms of their direction. They're going to go for a Xayah instead of the Jinx. Give themselves a little bit more agency in the 2v2. They could grab themselves the Nautilus now if they wanted to. I think it makes sense, though, if they hold off on their support pick. I feel like Vulcan has a lot of options. They could also just grab themselves the Rakan right now if they wanted to. It's a bit strange. I'm so used to music, the draft, and now it's gone.
So I will say, 100% AP scaling on his W.
Oh.
So if you just W spamming, that's so the stun, by the way.
If you just have a... If you just have a death cap, his W just does an uncomfortable amount of damage.
And the Harrowed Path movement speed scales with 4% per 100 AP.
Okay.
That's the E.
Well, now I'm theory crafting a bunch of silly
just
AP Viego
the
builds.
Fast Viego. Cosmic Drive, Ramadan.
I'm going to stop right now. Graves jungle locked in for EG means that they have a pretty solid mid-jungle duo. LeBlanc acts as a very solid setup in the mid lane to allow Graves to follow up with his damage. The smokescreen also very effective. The Lissandra going to be used to try and mitigate a lot of LeBlanc's impact. I think so far Order have a very solid draft. They have good scaling and range to potentially play a front-to-back comp. I would consider even removing the Cyclone 1 right now if I was EG, because right now Order is setting up for a very nice front-to-back teamfight comp. I think that Lissandra can struggle in the early laning phase. But if you choose to go Aftershock, and then you kind of rely on Viego being a primary damage dealer, like you can set up very nicely in the mid lane ganks too. Gwen, Gangplank, yeah, they're thinking Ornn right now. I can see the Ornn. It is going to be an Ornn insta-lock, and then Order are going to counterpick support. They're trying to avoid putting Corporal on that Nautilus again, I would imagine. So will you ban it, EG? Because it's going to be Ornn. I'm telling you right now, it's Ornn.
We'll see if they agree with you. Or see if they actually fear the Ornn. Because Biopanda has been one of the star players for Order so far. It's Poppy, had a really good performance on that. They will ban instead the Aatrox. Maybe they're like, if Biopanda's on a tank, yeah, we're okay with that. You know, it means he can't control the game as much. If he is on something slightly more aggressive.
Any Ornn enjoys? Smile. Ornn. I'm just gonna keep saying it until
this is like your whoop whoops. You're just making a song out of Ornn now.
I'm convinced though. I'm convinced.
Rakan instead. Could be Ornn last.
They're gonna keep tempting.
Could still be Ornn last. Rakan is great with Ornn.
No!
Oh,
no way! EG, wait! But this wasn't the plan at all! I mean, it's smart. You know, they're saying, well, you know what? If you pick Ornn, then we're going to counter with Ornn. And if you don't pick Ornn, we're going to pick Ornn because you can't counter our Ornn. Ha ha ha. But Ornn, I'm still right. It's Ornn.
You are correct. That champion is currently being hovered. It might not be picked still. There we are. It's locked in. Okay, so Ornn for EG. And Gragas support, it seems, here for Vulcan down towards that bottom lane. Lots of disengage coming out for Vulcan, and does give you some engage as well. Into the Rakan as well. If Rakan ever tries to jump in, you can body slam him out of his W animation. The knockup doesn't go through, and you can also cask him if he's trying to get anywhere near you. BioPanther, though, possibly looking towards the Kale.
Okay.
We're born to scale, baby.
So, yes, this is a I'll see you in 30 minutes game.
Yeah. Top lane.
Kale traditionally does very well against champions that can't really punish her. Ornn, I think, 1 to 6 actually has a lot of kill threat on Kale, and I think that I would not be surprised to see BioPanther get dived a lot. I think what's going to happen is JoJo's going to push mid, they're going to stack up a wave top, and then Inspired and JoJo is going to go top and they're going to dive him. And then he's going to TP back his lane and then they're going to dive him again.
Yep.
That's exactly
the typical Kale experience.
Yeah, that is what I think is going to happen in this early game. And it's really important for Kisei to prevent that from happening. He needs to try and control and follow the LeBlanc as much as possible. And Kev, he needs to try and cover towards the top side of the map to make sure that this Kale can get through what could be a challenging laning phase. Not because of the lane matchup, but just because I expect EG to play very focused towards the top side of the map.
And Inspired was so active in game 1 as well, so he's already in that sort of mind state, in that sort of zone, can look towards that top lane. He played a lot of Graves last year, actually, when he was in the LEC. Graves and Lilia, we saw him, those sort of heavy farming champions. Graves now, though, occupies a slightly different role. Lots of the time we're seeing Umbral Glaive rush into vision control, more than just power farming your entire jungle.
Excuse me. Yes, I think that Graves right now is very strong, mainly because not only does he clear fast, but also Umbral Glaive, as you mentioned, very good. And also, he just pairs very nicely with a lot of the mid laners that are in the meta right now. He does really well with Ahri. He does really well with LeBlanc. Basically, mid lane champions that provide the setup for him, he can very easily follow up. So he's not as like, what's it? Invisible is not the right word. It's just easier for him to have impact in the early game because, well, you know,
yeah, he's on his team as well. So
okay, yes. I'm excited. I quite like the comp from Order. I am very scared about this Kale because I think that it is high risk, high reward. But if it does get to the late game, woo Nelly, as they say. Don't know why, but I know it's a saying. It's a strong scaling comp from Order. I think that the range advantage that they have with the Tristana, the crowd control that they have, the engage tools with the Rakan, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
I like it. But you have to get through the early game, and I don't know if you guys watched last game, but EG's early game already looks a lot better. And even if you can criticize their early games, so far the early games against EG have not exactly been... Sorry, that EG's early games against Order so far this tournament have not exactly been bad. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be an uphill battle for Order. Can they navigate this early game? Can they weather the storm? They had a day off yesterday. Did they use that to come up with some new plans of attack to mitigate Inspired's early game aggression? All of these questions are yet to be answered.
EG have been plus 3,000 gold at the 14-minute mark in both their games versus Order.
That is what we would call a mild gold lead.
Yeah, a mild one.
Yes.
It's tepid.
I like to imagine how scary a gold lead is if that person had a bag of gold and then hit you with it. How much would it hurt?
Okay, so then is gold in League of Legends, is it a single coin? Is one gold?
Yes, it's a coin.
Again, how big is the coin? Because if we're talking about like silver dollars or gold dollars, they're chunky things.
Yeah, it's
but if you're talking about like an English coin with a hole in the middle, that's not as chunky. Or the Swedish coins. I think Norwegian or Swedish coins have holes in the middle.
Who has donut coins?
I mean, everyone has donut coins. It's just coins you pay for donuts with. But
no, but why would you put a hole in a coin?
Well,
so you can put them on a keychain?
Well, you use less metal as well.
I mean, that's true. But
there's a big thing with... we are going into game, by the way. But there's a big thing with like coins costing more and more year on year because the metal costs more.
Yes.
So you can actually... Like, the US loses a lot of money making pennies, which is why they're trying to phase out pennies.
I saw about that, yeah, the pennies. Yeah, it's all the copper, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then I remember in the UK, they tried to replace copper pennies with a different type of penny. Yeah. Which is they suddenly got a lot shinier and they were a lot cheaper. But, then
yes, I think anything over 100 gold, if it's a normal sized coin, that's going to hurt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 3,000 gold.
Could you
really
even,
hurt
could we even lift that? That's the thing. Like, are any of us actually strong enough to lift 3,000 gold
All I'm
coins off the
saying is
ground?
if you got hit in the face by 3,000 gold, would it hurt?
Yes.
Right. Therefore, probably not a gold deficit.
But you
called
called it a mild lead.
I know. I was
It would
exaggerating.
hurt more than
I was
mildly,
exaggerating. It was a
Medic.
joke, medic. God. Do you just hate humor?
You're the king of comedy, buddy.
No, I'm the king of cringe. There's a
That's true.
difference. Right. Early vision was invested from EG towards the red buff. They're doing a delayed invade. Have the sweeper to make sure they're not spotted.
Ward won't spot them in the bush
Kevy.
there as well.
Oh, Kevy, they see you, but you don't see them. Oh no, oh no.
So the wave about to crash in the top lane means that Order will know Impact is not there. Inspired now steps forward, still in the darkness. Now
Needs to
Kevy
reset it.
knows.
Reset it.
Looking for the reset,
Run.
flashes away with a smite. Doesn't get the reset. Inspired steals the red. Great late invade there by the evil geniuses to take away that red buff and now steal the Razor Beaks as well.
So, EG did a very smart thing of not attacking the red buff and instead attacking Kevy there. Mainly because the red buff is aggroing Kevy. And now Inspired goes mid.
Because he has to flash away. And as you said earlier, like Lissandra into LeBlanc isn't the easiest laning matchup for the Lissandra.
No.
It gets slightly harder when you don't have a summoner.
Yeah.
Inspired's looking to make it harder for Kevy because Kevy is only going to get his Krugs.
I mean, he did ping it out and he was like, yeah, I know exactly what's about to happen. He's also pretty
screwed,
hesitant to invade as well, mainly because he recognizes how easy it could be for him to get collapsed on. And this is just a situation of EG leveraging their early game prior. They had to push on bot, they had to push in mid, and top is pretty neutral. What's Kale going to do at level 2? Like, EG just know they're stronger, and EG are taking advantage of that. Level 3 now for Inspired. He stole your red, he stole your Raptors, he stole your blue. Soon he's going to steal your fridge, he's going to steal your house, he's going to steal it all. Yeah. Kevy, don't go for blue now, man.
He's
don't go
looking
for
for
blue
it.
now. Don't, no.
Inspired's
no.
hit. Kevy has no flash, remember? Inspired hops.
He's
The
gonna
oracles.
die.
Now
He's
he
gonna
knows
die.
Kevy.
He's
He
done.
just used the Spectral more. It's a red buff slow. Corporal looking for something in the bot lane. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Kisei has no flash. Jojo flash auto is enough. First blood to him. Kevy's forced out. Second blood goes over to Inspired. And it's just shellacking already. Pure dies in the bottom lane. Corporal short to follow. Vulcan just needs a single body slam here. Corporal might have W back up. Does use the grand entrance to escape. Body slam from Vulcan across the wall. You're going to go for it. Corporal will be funneled a little bit, but in the end, it is only 3 kills to EG.
So, imagine being hit in the face by 1,500 gold.
3 minutes into the game.
3 minutes into the
You're
game.
only level 2.
Oh my god, it is an absolute slaughter. EG have just dominated the early game, and like, it just goes to show how like simple things such as prio and how devastating it can be if you don't play it properly. And like, this is the side effect of losing your flash early. The aftershock gets procced. Jojo kills him with auto attacks. It's straightforward, it's clean, it's easy. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Corporal and Puma, they did try to go for a bit of an all-in earlier. And these are the side effects. The feathers come back. The damage is good, but it's not quite enough. The exhaust mitigating a lot.
Level up as well from Danny in the middle of the fight. I think he killed a minion.
Flashed away. Good use of the exhaust, good use of the feathers. Overall, great play from the EG bot lane. And Kevy did in fact die as well. So this is where in a scrim, a lot of pros will just remake.
Yep.
This is not a scrim. You cannot remake. And Order find themselves in a very difficult position.
They really do. I will say the corporate engage in the bottom lane looked a tiny bit in, but it really wasn't, because he waited for Danny to pull back the feathers, and then he knew Puma could jump in. So that was actually a really cool engage. Danny just leveled up off a minion in the middle of it, meaning he got the extra 100 health there.
I mean, Puma also got exhausted, so his like third bomb thing didn't do anywhere near as much damage, or the fourth one rather. It was, yeah, it was a bit of an outplay.
Series of unfortunate events, and an outplay, as you say, by EG.
I mean, my biggest issue is with Kevy, where I said earlier, it makes sense that he's not going for the blue because he's scared about it, and then he does Krugs, and then he goes blue at level 2.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you wanted the blue, you should have just done it when you knew he was on your blue. So I'm a little annoyed at Kevy for that one.
I get that.
But aside from that, yeah, the rest was just EG straight up outplaying. Impact does have flash, he should be fine.
Fellows back, not used in time. is stunned, and as you say, he is fine. Kisei hit behind the minions, trying to use them to block the shots, but you can't block that. Inspired with the second kill of the game. Impact gets ultimate. BioPanther doesn't have flash. Impact uses it to stop the Spectral Maul, but the stun still goes through. Impact trying to dash away and will escape underneath this tower. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Inspired's gone the long way round, but they're not going to go for the full-on fight. Puma and Corporal trying to clear out this wave. Vulcan, you going to go for this? They're feeling it. Corporal and Puma doing the right thing, holding the wave outside of range, but Jojo's on his way!
Inspired is herding them like sheep. Oh no, but it's their tower! Okay, they're gonna get away. They're gonna get away.
Good escape. You can herd sheep, but you can't herd kangaroos. There's order, just jump away from the fight in the bottom lane.
Are you sure you can't herd kangaroos? Are you factually confident in that?
I'll be honest, most of the stuff we say is factually kind of correct as Kisei looks for an engage here. Damage going down onto Danny. Kevy looking for the chase, but he's exhausted. Danny does die in the end. Level up 4. Kisei hits 6, uses the ultimate. Vulcan dodge down as well. Inspired looking for the damage himself. 2 more shotgun shells reloaded into that gun. And Puma doesn't want to get hunted down by Inspired.
Okay, so there's good news and there's bad news. What would you like first?
Good news first.
The good news is that Order got themselves 2 kills.
Yay!
Great.
What's the bad news?
Bad news is Inspired got more. So let's have a look back at this play. Initial engage looks pretty promising. Kisei isn't quite level 6 yet. Kevy committing to the play, but the feathers and the exhaust, oh my god, you can see that auto attack would have been enough if it weren't for the exhaust. But when Kisei does get the level up, he does buy a little bit more time, but Inspired is just so strong. He just kills them all. 4-0-1 now for the Graves. 3.5k gold lead at 7.5 minutes. So a bit of an improvement compared to last time.
Just a tad. EG having a very strong game, and obviously for Order, it's disappointing that you are losing like this in what could be your elimination game as Puma flashes away from the feathers in the bottom side, but it has just been domination from EG from the get-go. The initial invade forced Kevy so far behind. Kevy is sitting on a Sheen and a longsword, and Inspired has an Eclipse. The inventories are not balanced. Jojo with the chains, BioPanther able to dodge away from it. Kaleido damage coming in as well as Kevy's in the back of the pit here. Hallowed Path could look to proc the eye and then smite. Does it, gets the Riptailed. Heartbreaker in perhaps to take it. Kevy can Heartbreaker over the wall as well. Will use it to escape the call of the Forge God, but that eye sits untouched by EG, by Order. As EG guard it to make sure that Order don't get any plates out of the Herald charge.
So there's good news and there's bad news.
What's the good news?
The good news is EG did not get...
Buster shot. Danny doesn't have ult, remember, has to flash. Kevy getting forced out of his own jungle. Flash in by Vulcan. Look at the damage. Kevy just can't survive. Inspired unstoppable. At 9 minutes, the guy's 5-0-1.
Yeah, Inspired is having a really good day. He was really impressive in the early game against G2, and he continues with that performance against Order. It's just, yeah, he's dominating right now. And it's as simple as just utilizing pressure and knowing that you're stronger.
Yuma?
Oh, no. Oh, no. You can see what he tried to do, but
he was on vision the whole time.
Support is just not a balanced role, is it?
No.
It's just not balanced. Well, 9-2 is the score now. 5.7k is the goal difference, and we're just about to hit the 10-minute mark. Of course, this will mean that Order cannot make it to the group stage of Worlds. Oh god, now I'm doing it. Yeah, of MSI.
A Rumble stage.
The Rumble stage, yes. Because even if Order were to win all of their games following, the best score they could get would be tied with EG.
They'd be 3-5, and that's if EG then lose all of their games.
Yeah, and that would then require EG to lose all of their games, and then EG would still have
3-1 head-to-head.
3-1 head-to-head, so... Order, it would require quite the miracle for you to come back. The only ray of hope I'll give you is Kale.
Sure.
That's all I'm going to give you. If Kale can get to level 16 and there's still a Nexus alive, then there's a world where Order can win this game.
I think EG's Nexus will still be alive.
Yeah, true.
We'll see.
That Eclipse was finished at 7:23.
It's pretty quick. It's pretty quick. Probably the fastest Mythic we've had so far here at MSI. And,
I mean, the thing is, we've had a lot of swift games this time.
That's true, but like 7 minutes. Like, I don't think I've seen anyone with 88, like 30 CS more than their opponent and 5 kills at around the 7-minute mark, you know? Because that was just after the bot lane fight, so.
That's what I hate about Graves.
What do you hate about Graves?
When he's fed, he not only does a lot of damage, but he feels unkillable.
Yeah, it's the true grit.
Yeah,
Just gives you so much tankiness.
Disgusting. That champ. It's one of those classic, useless when I play it, but when I see other people play it, absolutely turbo broken.
I mean, for me, every champ is useless when I play it. So.
I mean, that's valid, yeah. I know that feeling. My hands are just too old now, mate. I just can't. That's a cool one. Never seen that one before. Anyway.
Speaking of emotes.
Okay.
You guys can get your Surprise emote as well. Don't forget to grab your exclusive Scare Prize Prime Gaming emote so you can strut when you flash in and turn a fight. Looks cool. Fiddlesticks. I'm pretty sure they're meant to be like baby Fiddlesticks next to him, like on his hands, you know, like puppet show type idea.
I mean, I can't remember the Fiddlestick skin, but it also wouldn't surprise me if he just had other heads next to his head.
He's not Baron in like 5 years ago. As the fight begins, Vulcan is pretty tanky. The W gives you extra damage resist. And yeah, EG able to respond. They thought they caught Vulcan, but in the end, all they caught was the Fist of Evil Geniuses. 12 minutes in, 12 kills to them. A 7,000 gold lead. And still plates to be picked up. Yeah. I mean, if you're watching that, I don't know what you want me to say here. I mean, the game is over. We all know the game is over. I will say, G2 have lost from a better position than this. I haven't seen EG do it. They don't tend to throw early leads like G2 do.
Yeah. G2, man. We've always got to bring him up in a cast. They're not even in. Nice fires caster.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
100%. Kevin gonna get caught by Vulcan. This is support versus jungler, by the way. And Vulcan with the Aftershock is winning this one, trying to keep Kevy away from that blast gun. He will Spectral more, but looking for the knockup. Jojo comes in. Thank you very much. Another kill for Jojo. Enemies not found for 0-4 on that LeBlanc now.
It's just mean. Oh no, it's just...
Oh man, Corporal. Collateral damage. Inspired doesn't pop the ultimate there. Maybe didn't think he had 300 damage in that shotgun. Guess they're going to try and get away. Good dodge with the Glacial Path. But EG are just controlling the map entirely. Inspired has double Kevy's CS. Not something you often see in the jungle. 6-0-3.
Okay, let's just clarify. Kevy doesn't have a jungle.
That's true. That is true.
Vulcan missed his ult. Minus points.
And the thing for Order is, I think a lot of people came into this MSI wondering if they could do a pentanet, you know, if they could get out of their group and then, you know, pick up a game against one of the larger regions. It has been a struggle for them. They have had a few signs of life. They've had a few moments of brilliance. BioPanther, I think especially, has performed very well. But as a team and as a region, it just seemed to be a cut below LEC and LCS this year.
Yep. Unfortunate, but that is the way competition goes. Best of the best, sent from NA and EU. Of course, there will be another rematch between G2 and EG later on in the day. I believe that is game 4. But yeah, Order gonna swiftly go back to base. 14 minutes in, EG find themselves with a 9,000 gold lead. They should just get Herald. I will say that I do feel that Inspired is really just bullying Kevy. Like, I don't know if you guys are keeping an eye on the minimap, but he is just taking everything. Like, Kevy comes back out, he's like, I don't have this camp, I don't have this camp, I don't have this camp. And Inspired is like, that's because I have them. He has more CS than his mid laner, and once he kills this Drake, he's going to have more CS than his top laner.
Not anymore. Impact farmed. Sorry, man. Your wonderful line was ruined by Impact.
Point still stands. He's just being mean. He's they get Herald, drop it mid, begin the siege. They can dive if they want. Who are they scared of?
Yeah. Kevy not even allowed to take his Razor Beaks while Inspired was doing Dragon. Jojopian and Vulcan just stepping into that jungle once again. BioPanther, yes, perhaps this KO could do something later in the game, but moment by moment, all of the resources are just being taken away. Corporal looks for the flash engage, doesn't find it. Danny pops the ult just in case a follow-up could continue.
EG gonna use that window to push down mid. Harold's still up and available. Now they're going for the dive.
Frozen Tomb was almost exactly that, but Kisei was able to escape, actually. Keeps that tomb for another day. The epitaph perhaps already written, though, as the writing seems on the wall for Order. Vulcan on the flank here. There's the barrel. There's the call of the Forge God. And Order, you can pray to whatever god you want, but the Forge God finds its mark. A double for Danny. Kisei flashes in. Danny actually taking the tower here, has to flash away himself. Yuma could jump the wall, but decides against it. And EG take the tower. A slight stumble, but nothing to write home about for them. They are still 11,500 gold ahead.
Yep, they secure themselves another tower in the mid lane. They will be forced to reset here. Again, can I draw your attention to the minimap? If you notice what Inspired is doing, he is continuing to be mean. He is stealing away the Crocs again.
The thing is, that's his jungle now, and his jungle is his team's jungle.
Yeah.
Right? Inspired's like, I'm living on the other side of the map. You guys just take what you want in our own jungle now. Danny took the Razor Beaks and now the red. Not going to spend any time doing those Crocs. Red, of course, will heal him up from that position. And as you say, Inspired with this Rift Herald should be able to, well, you have a plethora of options. It's a smorgasbord for you. Do you go top, do you go bot, or do you try and crack that mid lane inhib at only the 17-minute mark?
I don't actually think Danny reset.
No, he didn't. He's now reset.
Okay.
Because he went Razor Beaks red.
Yep.
And he was going to use the red to heal up.
Yep.
But now he's resetting.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, Kevy.
He will die. It doesn't matter. I'm telling you right now, he will die 2v1.
And the tower.
Smart choice.
Yeah.
Smart choice to disengage from that. Impact would have definitely killed you. Jojo Pyun is level 12, has the Mage Eyes. Let's have a look back at this dive. Really good coordination overall from EG. Good ultimate comes out from Vulcan. The follow-up ultimate. I think Impact could have ulted a little bit earlier, but the damage, well, actually his ultimate was useless. Didn't land onto anyone.
Oh, Jojo. A little bit overextended. Quickness coming out. Jojo low. Flashes away, able to escape with the clone. Impact comes in here as well. Calls down the Forge God. Looking for Bio. Panther. The bit into collateral damage is enough. Jojo survives, but Order can't say the same about themselves. Another battle from Vulcan gets the aftershock. Looking to tank up this tower. Kisei trying to escape. And EG find a kill in the top lane. Rift Herald now goes down. Jojo is low. Could be given this red buff. Instead, Inspired takes it. Makes more sense. Red buff does have a little bit of a tick of HP over time. Kevin flashes away. Escapes Inspired. Of course, he's got a stopwatch. It's 18 minutes in the game. He's got 2 items and a stopwatch. Why would he not be able to stop you from engaging on him? Bounties across the board for EG. 700 gold on Inspired, 600 on Danny. Only Vulcan sits without that bounty crown on his head. But Order can't find any of them.
Oh, look. Your jungle up. Not anymore. Inspired's going to take it. Oh, look. Wait. Look at the pings. They're like, wait. They're in the bot side of the map. Are there any camps there for them to take?
Blue buff's coming up soon.
Okay.
Within the minute.
Inspired, you got to get back to base. Your jungle's coming up soon. Oh, I see the wall spawning.
Jojo looking for Kevy. There's the root. There's the chains. Chase is on. Danny coming in from the side as well. And there was a moment of hope. Cornwall, where are you going to go? There's nowhere. Delayed death, but delaying the inevitable, it feels, for Order. Kisei now, yeah, you're not in the best of positions. Impact doesn't have ultimate. Glacial Path has already been used, I believe. There's the aftershock, there's the knockup. Good double root with the Ring of Frost, but Jojo now 6-0-8 with a 21-stack Magi. Doesn't matter how long you delay, you're still going to die.
And what did I say? Those camps were up. And what did Inspired do? Straight towards them. Order, they're about to lose their base. Everything is falling apart. I wish that I could tell them that there was a ray of hope, there was a window of opportunity, that there was a play for them to make that could get them back into this game. But if you thought being hit in the face with a bag of 3,000 gold coins was rough, imagine 16,000 gold coins.
It's a really big bag as well.
That's a really big bag.
At that point, you're probably getting 2 bags.
At that point, you're probably getting 2 or 3, yeah. Maybe even 4 bags of 4,000 coins. Spread them out across the team and then be pummeled. Yeah. That's where the expression being beaten by the wallet comes from, you know, because of giant bags of gold coins.
That's why we don't use builds as well on Summoner's Rift.
It's true.
Because if you just hit with some paper,
it's just
like, where are you going to get a paper cup?
Yeah, exactly. It's just Impact with the flank.
Oh, good jump from Puma. Manages to get the buffer out. Corporal escapes as well. I mean, it's a good escape act. Veritable Houdinis here are the Order team, but when all you can do is run and hide, it's it's not spelling the best for your team, and Impact and Jojo are unwilling to let them escape. You face your path away into the battle dance. Corporal able to escape once again, but the chain still hits him. Grand entrance gets him back to the fountain. All of your engage tools used to disengage. EG take the first inhibitor and the second short to follow. Kisei once again dodging away from the chains here, but EG looks like they're making a beeline for the Baron.
Yep, a near perfect game so far for EG. They've dropped a couple kills, but overall, a very dominant performance. Setting us up nicely for that rematch later in the day against G2. Of course, in terms of stakes, very little on the line. EG will lock a spot in the group stage, or the Rumble stage, or the next stage.
Oh, Jojo. He waited. And Corporal dies again. That was good position from Jojo. Like, he waited around the red buff. Corporal, that's the general path you take to clear out vision as you're looking to get towards the Baron. EG knew the Order had no vision. Oh, Kevy! Yes, Kevy! Do it for Australia!
This is a pride play. I respect it. Inspired has taken your jungle all game long. Now you take his. I respect it, Kevy.
And once for the LCO. He takes away the red, he takes away the Razor Beaks, the Baron taken away by EG. Puma knocked into the wall. Vulcan looking for the body slam, couldn't quite find it. Jojo going in with the Everfrost as well. Glacial Path stopped there by Kisei. Nice. Good dodging from Puma. Just away from the possible damage that came out from Jojo. Kevy, this is 3 camps ready. It's a sad teacup. Being claimed the small victories. So, oh no, Inspired's there, Heartbreaker away, Spectral Mort, Danny, Nutman, come on, Danny!
And now Inspired is just going to take your camps.
He gets the red buff back.
Thanks for holding that. I'm going to have that one back. Yep. Look, Inspired literally took the Gromp. You don't need the Gromp, Inspired. You don't need
They're waiting for the wave, Benny, okay? He's just optimizing.
No, he's bullying. Inspired is bullying Kevy. That is what he's doing.
But he's 130 CS up, so his stats are going to look really good.
His stats are indeed going to look really good. Spamming the Rogue emote. And then the thumbs down. I don't know if that's a dig at Rogue. That's kind of how I'm interpreting it.
Possibly.
But who knows? It is open to interpretation, as now they have the Nexus in their eyes.
Call of the Forge God coming out. Jojo burst underneath the Nexus towers. Call of the Forge God is going to do quite a lot of work here, but Kisei with the Divine Intervention coming in. One down, Inspired though is going to answer with one on Puma. Kisei unable to get to safety. And even your fountain will not keep you safe. Evil Geniuses, a banger game. Live evil as they take their 3rd win over Order.
A swift one-sided affair will lock EG in the Rumble stage alongside G2. Unfortunately for Order, there is no way now for them to climb out of this group. It has been a tough tournament for them. They have shown some promise at times, but EG was not messing about today. A masterclass performance from Inspired in the jungle. 2 great games from him so far today. We'll see if he can continue that performance throughout the day.
And a really good win for EG, as you say. Commiserations to Order, who are eliminated from contention for the Rumble stage. They do still have a few matches to play today. Another one versus EG and 2 against G2. I think we have G2 up against Order next on our docket. But Group C is decided. G2 and EG will be going through to that Rumble stage.
I don't think people are that surprised. Perhaps people are surprised in terms of the current head-to-head record of G2 versus EG, but overall, I think the group has largely played out as has been expected.
Yep.
And both of these teams will have an opportunity to go up against some of the powerhouses from the other groups in the next stage. Going to be exciting to watch their evolution throughout the tournament. We've already seen some great adaptation and growth from EG. And he's hoping they can continue to challenge and put up a good performance.
It's definitely the